Okay, welcome to Prime Media TV. On the show today, I have with me, she's not a guest. She has been on the show, so there's no need to introduce her, but can you just say hello, Ayo, to the viewers?
Hi everyone, good to have you here with us.
Okay, so today, what are we doing? This is like inspirational moments. And what are we discussing today? We are, reviewing, the plans, for the year. We are, trying to remind you. Probably in 2023 you had plans, and and maybe some of them, the year ended without you being fulfilling those plans. Maybe you had things that you wanted to achieve, or things that you wanted to get before the end of the year. You had things that you wanted to do, and yet you could not do them. And so we are here again to, try to remind you and try to examine, some of these things. And the question is, why were you not able to do those things? And do you still believe that you can achieve them in 2024? Since you could not achieve them in 2023, is it possible that you also achieve them this year? And so the first thing I would tell you is that if you ever believe that it's possible, then it's possible. The fact that you did not achieve them, the fact that you were not able to acquire those things that you wanted to acquire, it doesn't mean that it's not possible to get them. So maybe you just have to re-strategize. Maybe you just have to, add more effort. Maybe you just need to, be patient. You never can tell. And so I will give Ayo just for some, minutes to just talk to us briefly on some of the things that one can do to achieve plan, or to one of the things that one must do if we must be able to achieve our goals in 2024, the plans we have set. Because if you keep doing the same thing and over again, if you keep adding 1 plus 1, you keep getting 2. So maybe last year you did 1 plus 1 and you got 2, and this year you want to do 1 plus 1 again. Definitely you're going to get 2. And so for you to get a different result, you have to do something different that you have not done before. Different result, different work, different result. So, Ayo, over to you.
Okay, hi everyone. Good morning to you. And first of all, I want to wish you a happy new year. It's a good one to see you in the new year. And trust me, there is a lot that await us in the new year. So, looking back at the year 2023, you see that quite a number of things, like everybody has one or two things to say, like the things they were unable to achieve, and looking at how you can achieve those things. One thing I have come to realize for myself, because I like to look at things from my own personal experience, like I discovered that last year, there were quite a number of things I was unable to achieve. So I made a list of those things that I could not achieve. I wrote them down. I wrote them somewhere just so they can serve as a reminder for me. Like, this is what I do at the beginning of every year. I write out the list of things I expect to be done. And as soon as they are done, I tick them. This one is done. And the ones that I'm unable to do, I carry them over to the new year. So I look at my past failures and the things I was unable to achieve, and I told myself, I am going to do this. And one thing I discovered that made me not to be able to achieve those things last year was because I didn't count those things as important, and I did not risk it. In this year, you have to learn to take the necessary risks that is required for you to attain what you want to attain. Because if you are complacent, if you are okay with a particular level that you are, there's tendency that you will not be able to achieve that thing. Let's say, for instance, you are supposed to take a course last year for yourself, for your brand, for something that you want to do, for something that you want to achieve. You were supposed to take a course, and that course cost a lot. You know, Nigerians, we love money and we don't like to pay for value. That is Nigeria. If you see where they are doing free things now, you see a lot of people. But if you see where the people are getting paid to get that thing done, where people are paying to get that particular thing done, people do not want to invest. So this year you have to risk investments, and that investment is not an ephemeral thing. That investment should be on you, on yourself, on your growth. So let's say, for instance, last year you were supposed to. Let's say, for instance, you are a book publisher, a writer. You can work on improving yourself. You can work on getting course, paying for course that will help you to advance, regardless of the amount. Like I could remember last year, I wanted to take a course on book publishing. I paid huge amount of money. At the end, that money went down the drain. I lost the money, but it was for my personal development. That will not say I should not pay for another one to get better. So this year we go again, regardless of the amount. See, nothing is too much for you to invest in yourself. When you invest in yourself, it is coming back to you. Now you go reap them. Nobody is going to reap it for you. So my own advice is that people should learn to invest in themselves. People should learn to pay value, pay for things that they know that is needed for their growth. So this is one of the things I have to say. Perhaps anything comes up, I'll chip it in on the
Okay, thank you very much. You know, you heard what Ayo said, that you must take risks, yeah, and you must also, you know, work on your your goals and your plans. Don't just relent, you know, do something, value what your goals. And one of the things that I will also say regarding that is that, you know, people sometimes are not sure of the goals they have set before them.
Yeah.
They don't believe in it. And so they just set it, and you know, and then they are not even sure if they are going to, and they are not giving into what they have planned, of the plan. And okay,
on that part where people are not sure of their goals, you know, they don't even know what they want to achieve. This is where smart goal setting comes in. You know, when you just say, in the year 2024, I want to get married. When do you want to get married? Have a time limit. That time limit is going to get you conscious. Okay, let's forget about marriage, because people will be like, so if I say I want to get married by March now, so I have to be looking for, but have a time limit. Set a time for, let's say, for instance, you are a musician, a music artist, or a writer. You want to, don't just say, I want to write a book. Set a time limit. When do you want to have that book? When do you want to see it come to pass? Let's say you want to by March this year, you want to publish a book. Give it a date. Okay, or you want to save up to a certain amount this year. Give it a date. Don't just say, I want to save up to 1 million naira this year. Give it a date. Okay, by July, I want to have 500,000 naira in my account. So that is a target. Then you break it down. How do you achieve it? You know, while I was going out this morning, I just calculated in my head the amount I spent on transportation. And in my head, I was asking myself, is it a must I take bike to where I'm going to? If I leave my house early, I can actually trek that distance and save up that money. Saving up 1,000 naira daily for 7 days is going to make 7,000 naira. So if I cover a distance, let's say I'll be trekking in the morning, take bike in the afternoon. Okay, that's 500 naira in a day. That's for how much? 5,500 naira times 7 is equivalent to 3,500 naira. So if I'm saving that 500 naira every day, I have 3,000 naira, 3,500 naira in a week. So that is it. So set smart goals. You know, write that thing you want to achieve. Okay, this year I want to open my shop. How are you going to save up the money? How are you going to arrive at the capital that is needed for you to stock that shop? When do you want to see that shop come to? Don't just keep confessing, I have my shop, without setting a definite goals, a definite plan for how you are going to get that done. So on that, set smart goals. That is what I have to say today.
All right. Thank you very much, for staying tuned and for listening to us. So we'll go on a quick break now, and we'll come back. We'll continue the show.
working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. Hey, waymaker, miracle working, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Waymaker, miracle working, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here.
Yeah, welcome back to the show. Now let's continue on what we were discussing before we went on the break. And, still talking about, goals, putting on work to achieve those goals, the strategies, using the strategies, to achieve those goals. One of the things I also say is whatever you know that you cannot commit yourself totally, whatever you know that you cannot give your totality it, don't even begin it, because it will frustrate you. Once you cannot be able to give your whole self to it. So because every goal that you have set will require your whole self. You have to put in your whole self, your ideas, your work, your creativity into that thing for you to see the results of that thing. For instance, if you are maybe whatever, a musician, whatever, you need creativity, you need to put in your whole self in, maybe the writing of the songs and, all that, for people to be able to enjoy your work. And if you are maybe a tailor or fashion designer, you also need your whole self. You cannot be working and maybe your mind is somewhere. You cannot be giving part of yourself, and then anything you want to do that you want to see the real result of it, you have to give your whole self to it. You have to make sure that you have to know that that's what you want. Yeah. That's another thing. You have to know that this is what I want. Yeah. So that you don't confuse yourself. Tomorrow you say you want to learn this skill. Next tomorrow you say no, it's this one that I want to learn. No, you'll not be able to achieve. Focus on one thing. You achieve one, then you move to the another. So if you are somebody and you also have to minimize, setting on plenty things. You end up doing nothing. Yeah. So if you, like, for instance, in 2023, if you have said something, at least 2 things, 3 things, or 1 thing, and say that, okay, in 2023, I must achieve this before the end of 2023, and you focus on it, you give in work to that thing, and all that. So you eventually achieve it. You eventually achieve that thing. But you said this one, you said about 10 things before you, and at the end of the day, you end up not achieving any of them. You end up not being able to, carry out any of them. So you just confuse yourself. So what are we here to do? We are here to, let you know that if at all you must achieve the goals that you have before you, is that you have to do something different from what you did last year. So last year you did something else, and that's why you got the result that you got. Even if you succeeded in what we have to press in to get more. We have to do something different. We have to get greater result, because they usually say that if you can still think and say, if you can still look back and say, desire your tomorrow. You can look back and see that your tomorrow was better than your today. That means something is wrong. So every day of your life should be better than yesterday. Yeah. So Ayo, over to you.
Well, concerning that, I feel like people like to try their ends on many things to see which works.
Mm.
You know, like there are some people that believe that experience is the best teacher. But to me, I don't have to wait for something to happen to me before I learn. You learn from people that those things has
Yes,
happened to.
yes.
So you cannot just say, okay, I want to become a public speaker now, and you also want to become a nurse. You also want to become a cobbler. You also want to become a fashion designer. You also want to become an hairdresser. You also want, only you one thing. Just some people say, I'm trying to discover myself. I don't understand what you are discovering. Yes, it is good to discover yourself, but first of all, when it comes to pursuing goals, you have to pursue goals that you have passion for. That's one of the things, like, get your passion right. What are those things that you are passionate about? Okay, there was a time I wanted to do farming business, and I wanted to venture into rabbit farming. And, you know, when I discovered, you know, while I was thinking about how I'm going to do that, who I'm going to talk to, you know, I just had it impressed in my heart, count the costs. That was the word I heard, count the cost, count the cost. And, you know, while I was studying, I just saw a scripture that talk about counting the cost. And I wrote down the things that is needed, thinking that was all about counting the cost. Then recently, an understanding struck me that when it comes to counting the cost, what are the motives behind the things I want to do? So I discovered the reason why I wanted to venture into rabbit business was because of the profit that is on it. It's not like I'm passionate about farming. I'm not a farm person. Like tomorrow now, I think get money, I venture into rabbit farming. But I discovered that the reason why I wanted to do rabbit farming was because of the money. So look at the things that you are doing. Is it because your friends are doing it and they are making money out of it? That is why you want to venture into it. Or it is because you are passionate about it. Like some people want to do hairdressing because of the, you know, the connections and everything that they are going to get from it. Some people want to do a particular thing because of the benefit and everything. But you have to look at yourself, look inward. What are those things that you are passionate about? What are those things that you have passion for, those things that you love so much, those things that you cannot do without? So these are some of the things that you should invest your time in the new year. These are some of the things that you should focus on doing in the new year. So that is that on that. The reason why people venture on so many things, they don't know what they are passionate about. So if you know what you are passionate about, invest your time and attention on it, and you make it. So that is that.
Okay, yeah. Before we round up the show, I will also say that, you know, you have to, you know, be focused as well. And when you are focused on what you want and you pursue it with all your strength, with all that you have, and also that there are some goals, there are some dreams, there are some this thing that you will need resources to, you know, to be able to, you know, pursue it successfully.
Yeah.
You need to invest in what you want to, you know, you need to invest in your goals. If you require resources and you have them, you have to.
Nothing should even be too expensive to spend on yourself.
Yes.
Like, I'm not talking about clothes or something now.
Yes.
Like when it comes to personal development, no time, no money is too much for you to invest in yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to also check, examine yourself. You have to check if it's your business that failed last year. You have to examine it. You have to look at what are the factors that made the business fail. What are the things that made the business, you know, not to grow? You know, was it that I was spending too much, or like I said, you know, talking about, you know, spending the transportation or other years. Maybe you were using the money for something else. You were buying excessive clothes, buying things that you don't need. So if you must achieve a lot, you have to, you know, cut off some excesses.
Exactly.
You have to cut off
because some of the things are not even needed.
Yeah, you have
some of the things are not needed. You know, some people will feel like without a new clothes, I can't go to church. I don't understand what happened to the clothes you have before. So you learn combination. It is not every Sunday you buy new shoe, new clothes, new whatever. Wear the ones that you have, at least to save costs. When you have the money, when you are living in money, nothing will be too expensive for you to do for yourself.
And you are running a business. Your business is still coming up, and you're putting on, you know, expensive hairs. You know, it's expensive. You want to go for, you know, high class.
Family problem is on that business.
Yeah, and so if you're like that, you have to take it. Maybe those could be some of the factors that make your business to fail last year.
Yeah.
And so if you must be great, if you want your business to explode, you want yourself to move forward this year, you have to, cut off excesses.
Yeah.
It's only buy what you need.
What you need,
Not what
not
you
what
want.
you want.
Yes. Only buy what you need and not what you want. Yeah. So you have to be disciplined. You have to be a disciplined person. Like, I always emphasize on discipline, because without discipline, all your plans will just fail. Because without discipline, you may just have a goal and then you're going on the road there. The money that you were supposed to use and finance your dreams, your goals, you just use it to buy one shirt, one shirt of 200,000, and that's and
like
that's the end of your.
If she's going to the market to buy something, full stop, even if it is not full stop, if it is only top she wants to buy, she will write it in a list. Okay. And trust me, she said that list help her to be disciplined. So she will not have to, when she gets to the market, she will not have to go and spend on things that she's not supposed to. I used to be like that when I'm going to the market. I just say something, and I love this thing, regardless of how expensive it is. I'll comfort myself with this saying, if I perish, another money will come. But I discovered that no money is coming. After spending the money, I will now go and cry to God, God, please, I beg, help me now. Lord, I beg, help me now. And God will be there saying, you had the money, you spent it on things that you do not need. So you have to be self-controlled. You have to be self-controlled. In this way, see, money is not coming up anywhere. Like, even if they increase your pay, even if you get increase in whatever it is that you are doing, the fact remains that things are getting on the increase every day. So for you to be able to survive, you need to cut down costs. You need to cut down costs. There was a time I was listening to somebody, and the man was talking about, it is not a must that your children go to KG, kindergarten, preschool, pro school, whatever it is that they call it. As a mother, you should homeschool your children. In this time and season, you see a 6-month-old going to school, and you discover that is what you are spending all your life saving on.
And then still on that school, some parents also strive hard to make sure that they put their children in the most expensive school.
Exactly.
And if
so
your height
down the cost.
they are in all school, they are good teachers there, and also. So if you can actually afford the high class, this is fine. But when you don't have the finances to try to that level, and you press on, do borrow and do all sort of things just to make sure that you put your children there, you end up in debt, you end up not achieving so much. So, plan very well. Okay, so this is where we call it the end of today's show, and we believe that you'll pick one or two things. So any other thing before we round up?
Well, that will be all. I don't think I have anything to say.
Okay, so to the viewers there, we say goodbye. See you next time. Thank you.